Have you ever gone all in on something with the best intentions, only to realize later it's draining more than it's delivering? Sometimes our yes is rooted in a fear of missing out, falling short, or failing someone we love. But what if those good intentions are quietly pulling us off our purpose? Today, we're talking about how to honor your good intentions without letting them short circuit your energy, your finances, or your focus. I'm Dr. Phyllis Hayes Reams, also known as Dr. Phyllis, your coach. Welcome to the Own Your Yes podcast. Today is episode 99, when good intentions drain great purpose. I'm going to say that one again. When good intentions drain great purpose. I recently have shared with you that life's been a little bit crazy as I have been providing caregiving support for a family member and trying to make sure to stay on top of my other roles as mom, as wife, as junior matriarch of the family. Yet I was determined to get into my kitchen because, I'm one who believes in don't try to eat the whole pie at one time. Otherwise, you won't do anything and it can be overwhelming and frustrating. But I decided to take one slice at a time. So, to create a small win. So, I'm getting in my kitchen and just really getting in there and sorting through things so I can see some space. Because I'll admit, it's a little cluttered right now. And thankfully, I have a lot of people in my house who like to cook. But that can also create a lot of things all over the place. Plus my own self in and out, putting things down and all that. But I was determined to get in there and just really start decluttering things. And as I stepped back, man, there are some appliances. I admit it. I've got a soft spot for electrical appliances. And it was good intention. I had I have this robotic oven, and I bought it because at that time I bought it, the good intention was, hey, I can program it and I can have meals so that despite me having a crazy schedule, I can get in there and we can have a somewhat home cooked meal. And I was all set, even to the point that I upgraded from one version to another. And initially, yeah, I used it. I also got a companion appliance for it that worked with um, other parts of the meal because you know me, I'm going to do it all. I'm going to get all the appliances. I'm going to buy extra pans that go with it because I don't want something to happen and I need another one and I don't have it when I need it. So when I purchase, I'm going to buy extra pans, all the accessories because I've got to be prepared. Sound familiar? So the only problem is that when we use it, we can't use the microwave or we can't use the dishwasher because they're on the same circuit. Now, yes, admittedly, We probably need a little electrical system upgrade, but we have to deal with what we have for right now. So it short circuits. So all we can do when we use that appliance, anytime that it is running, we can't use anything else along that wall. So everything has to be focused on that. If my husband or kids come in, or if I forget and we want to turn the dishwasher on, or we want to use the microwave, kind of stuff, because then it short circuits everything. And then you have to go out to the fuse panel and flip it back on. So it's quite a production. And this appliance is set up so that it refrigerates things and has it ready. It's just on standby. So the time that you set it, it'll be ready. So again, I'm not criticizing the appliance. It's a great idea. And when I used it, great idea. Yet it would actually tie my hands in doing other things. Additionally, while that was a practical idea at that season in life, it no longer serves me well because I'm in a new season where my schedule is not the same. And so it's not being used. Now, understand, it's not the only appliance. There's another appliance that we have that can throw things off, but yet this appliance in particular, I just went overboard buying everything for just in case. And I was all in. And now I'm in a season that it just basically is more of a potential energy drain than it is a help. So it really made me start thinking about this more. Wow. This is also how I had treated life at one time. Saying yes with the right intentions to things, getting all involved, doing everything, going the extra mile, but yet good intentions, but it no longer is appropriate in this season and no longer is practical for this season. Now it's become more of an energy drain than an opportunity for growth or joy or fulfillment. So it made me think about you, sis, and to ask you the question based on this main point. A good intention isn't enough if it drains your energy, derails your finances, or detours you from your purpose. Let me say that again. A good intention isn't enough if it drains your energy, derails your finances, or detours you from your purpose. And I want to add this: we honor God not just by what we do, but how we steward our yes. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And to everything, there's a season. What may have fit in one season is no longer. So the question for today is, So, how do you discern whether your yes, your good intention is serving your purpose or secretly draining your power? I'm into repeating stuff today because I'm in my ministerial role, so we're good on for emphasis. So, how do you discern whether your yes is serving your purpose or secretly draining your power? And I wanted to share with you today what I do because I had reached a point that I needed to just face the fact, right? That I needed to deal with this energy drain that was just sitting there now collecting dust, not providing inspiration, no longer useful for the season I'm in. And I had to deal with the fact and face the fact that, yes, I made quite a bit of an investment, a time investment. I made a financial investment. I had to go through the thought process of, oh my gosh, I paid all this money for this. You know, those type of purchases you make where you've made all of this investment or a relationship you paid all this investment in, so you keep trying to create a return on investment because you invested so much. And it can be difficult to be able to just face it and say, yes, I did what I needed to do at that time and while it served a purpose, but I just have to kind of just say, you know what? It no longer serving me. I got to move on. And I want to share this with you a way of looking at this of good intentions and when they no longer serve your purpose and they're draining your energy and they're taking away your energy power. I want to share with you a approach of looking at how we invest our finances, our time, our energy going forward. And it is under this acronym POWER, protecting your purpose while honoring God's intentions. Protecting your purpose while honoring God's intentions. Power. How do you take back your power, your energy, even after you've invested a lot? All right. So the P is to pause before you purchase or you pledge. Pause before you purchase or pledge. Ask yourself the question, am I saying yes from purpose, from what God has put on my heart, my purpose is, or from pressure, fear, or guilt? Don't rush into any action just because it sounds right. Pause first. I have to do that even now because sometimes I'm admit to you, I'm like, yeah, that looks good, that sounds good, but I have to pause and say, wait a minute, is that going to truly serve my purpose, or am I from external pressure or internal pressure or fear or guilt? Am I making this decision? So I want you to look at that. Are you saying yes because you feel like in your spirit you're saying yes from your purpose, or there's some pressure, or there's some guilt, like I got to do this, or fear? The O is own the intention. You know that I'm big on owning your yes, which is owning your intention, owning it, what you say yes to. Own the intention. Acknowledge you have a good intention. Don't shame yourself for trying to help, to solve a problem, or prepare for something. Owning the intention brings clarity. It's like looking in the mirror and just saying it out loud. It allows you to say it out loud or write it down what your intention is, or at least reflect on it. It gives you then authority over the decision. W is weigh the cost. Weigh the cost. Count the emotional, financial, spiritual, and energetic cost that's tied to making that decision. Pledging yourself, or when I say pledging, that means making the personal investment into, be it a purchase, be it a reacting a certain way, is it a relationship, is it a job, paid or volunteer. Weigh the costs. Count the emotional, the financial, the spiritual, and energetic costs. The E is examine for overload. Are you over preparing or overdoing because of, let me say this again. Are you preparing or overdoing because of fear? Are you over preparing or overdoing because of fear? Is your yes based on scarcity thinking? You hear me talk a lot about changing, and I did an episode on this not too long ago about moving from FOMO, the fear of missing out, to the joy that is found of missing out. Often the scarcity, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss out, or I've got to buy everything because if I don't buy it right now, they won't have it when I want something else. If I like it, I better buy all the shoes of this style because they won't have it when I want it again. And we know we live in a world where this scarcity mindset is cultivated, right? Or they're offering me this opportunity. I really don't necessarily want to add this to my plate, but they asked me to do it. And if I don't say yes, they won't ask me again, or I won't get another opportunity to do this. So I better say yes. I better do it. Or I was asked to do it and I don't want to hurt their feelings. That's that scarcity mindset of missing out, of not having enough. But the problem is then you create overload, overwhelmment, financial drain, spiritual burden, emotional burden. This is where we blow our own internal circuits, trying to do too much just in case. That's how we lead to depletion. And if we don't go and out to that fuse box, that internal fuse box, and flip the switch, we are just continually living on fumes and depletion, and things just get so far out of hand, you don't know how to go back and flip the switch and restore power, restore energy. The R is recommit to purposes. Recommit to purpose. Realign your yes. You hear me say every week, it is never too late to own your yes. Recommit, realign, own your yes. Choose what adds to your purpose, the purpose that God has created in you. Choose what adds to your purpose, not what adds more pressure. As high achieving Christian women, we want to be the best we can be in the roles that we find ourselves in. And we want to be good Christian women. We are built for hearts of service and caring. And with that comes this need to do it all. And we create so much pressure for ourselves. Your purposes won't come from running faster, but from living clearer, clarity, running your race, being in your purpose. So power. So I want to repeat power. P, pause before you purchase or pledge. O, own the intention. W, weigh the cost. E, examine for overload. R, recommit to purpose. This week, before you buy, plan, or say yes, pause and check your power. Check for power. Ask yourself, is this decision, is your yes rooted in fear or purpose? Is it going to empower you or silently overload you? So you're going to ask yourself, hey, is this yes going to empower me or silently overload me? That's what I want you to do. I also want you to look at, let your yes, this is the real take home message. Let your yes come from alignment with your purpose, not anxiety. Okay. And remember, don't beat yourself up for good intentions, but check yourself. Okay. It's a new season. What served its purpose in the past very likely may not serve your purpose today. And for this week, I wanted you to really look at the following for journaling with those questions. So, again, I want to review the questions for this week. You can tell I just have so much on my heart for you this week. So, I want to be very focused. And so that's why I'm repeating again, because I feel that you out there, I feel you out there, that you have so much going on in your mind. So little by little, I'm getting in there and making way so that the points drive home. So let's review what I want you to do this week. Your homework, your take home message. Let your yes come from alignment, not anxiety. Okay. And then I want you to journal this week on, just write it down. When you are dealing with the decision you need to make of how you're going to invest your yes, is your yes going to be rooted in fear or purpose? And is it going to empower you or silently overload you. Okay? I hope and pray that this episode has touched you and that this week you're going to be looking at your power source, your energies, how you're investing your yes. And remember, it's never too late to own your yes. I'm Dr. Phyllis, your coach. It's my honor to be with you every week. I look forward to being with you next week. Be blessed. I love you. Take care. See you next week. Bye now.